Elon Musk, the relentless dreamer, in Elon's words, with emotion. I was born in Pretoria, South Africa in 1971. Back then I was just a quiet, awkward kid who loved books more than people. My nose was always buried in something. Science fiction, fantasy, anything that painted a vision of the future. I'd dream about rockets, planets, and worlds far beyond what anyone around me could see. That spark, that vision, it kept me alive in ways I can't explain. When I was 12, I taught myself to code. My first creation was a simple space game called Blaster. I sold it for $500, and I remember thinking, wow, maybe I really can create things that matter. That moment felt huge to me, but it was just the beginning. I knew South Africa wasn't my future. I wanted to be where the greatest minds were, where the most extraordinary things could happen. That place was the United States. After making my way to America, I studied physics and economics. Physics because it's the roadmap of the universe, and economics because, well, you need money to get anywhere. But I didn't want to just learn. I wanted to do. I could either watch it happen, or I could be a part of it. That thought haunted me, drove me. So I dropped out of Stanford after 2 days and jumped straight into the chaos of Silicon Valley. My first company, Zip2, was built out of sheer determination. We were just a few guys sleeping in the office, coding non-stop. When Compaq bought it for $307 million, I thought, finally, I can think bigger. That's when I started X.com, which became PayPal. The goal was to revolutionize online payments, to make them easy and fast. When eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion, I could have retired, bought a yacht, and disappeared. But that's not who I am. There was still this fire in me, this insane, almost painful need to push humanity forward. I wanted to go to space, not for fun, not for ego, but because I believe that humanity's survival depends on becoming a multiplanetary species. But rockets were ridiculously expensive, so I thought, okay, I'll build my own. People laughed. They said it was impossible, and they were almost right. Our first 3 launches at SpaceX were disasters. Each failure was a dagger to the heart. I poured everything into it: time, money, energy. By the time we got to our 4th launch, we had just enough left for one more try. If we failed, it was over. That launch, it worked. I'll never forget that moment. That's when I realized, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Around the same time I joined Tesla, people thought electric cars were a joke. They were slow, ugly, impractical. But I knew they could be better, faster, cooler, a symbol of the future. It wasn't about just making a car. It was about proving that sustainability could be exciting, that it could change the world. But it hasn't been easy. The failures, the criticism, it gets to you. There were nights when I felt completely broken, when I thought, why am I doing this to myself? But then I'd remember my dream. A world where humanity survives, thrives, and inspires. If you get up in the morning and think the future is going to be better, it is a bright day. Otherwise, it's not. That's what keeps me going. SpaceX, Tesla, Solar City, Neuralink, The Boring Company, they're not just companies to me. They're lifelines to a better future. I want my kids, your kids, all of us, to look up at the stars and think, wow, we did that. Because the truth is, I think it is possible for ordinary people to choose to be extraordinary. So yeah, I've made mistakes. I've failed more times than I can count. But you know what? Failure is an option here. If things are not failing, you are not innovating enough. That's how progress happens. I'm not here to play it safe. I'm here to build a future that inspires goosebumps. A future where people believe that anything is possible. And if I've learned one thing, it's this. Don't just follow the crowd. Think for yourself. Take risks and dream as if your life depends on it, because it does.